Jared Photo.com, and these are your raw edits of the week, number 53. And I know you guys like seeing these, and I like picking these out. Keep in mind that when I do pick photos here, they're not always like, it's not saying that you're the winner. It's just pinpointing or pointing out certain files or images that you guys edited that I think are either cool or are close but could use some extra tweaking, or are just totally off the wall. So there's just different things that I'm looking for. Like, for example, this first image here. I think it's interesting that they tried a totally different crop. Does it work? Not really. It doesn't really work for me. But you know what? The photographer here, or the editor, the person who edited this, tried something different. And it does draw your eye a little bit to the bottom, but really when I'm looking at the image, I go straight to the back of the out of focus area because it's a little tough to see the person down here. Now, maybe if it was done in black and white or all this yellow was taken out, I may be more drawn to it. But, you know, we're just going to keep going through these and pick. I think I picked 17 out this week. There were so many good ones out of the 29 pages. Keep in mind that if there's ones that are similar, like a lot of the same color, a lot of the same black and white, because a lot of them are similar, I won't grab every single one of them. I'll just pick a handful from here and there and just point them out. The screen flows, again, were great to watch. Love seeing that. Love picking up tips from you guys. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, is it? To edit and talk at the same time. But hey, you know, it's worth a try, and everybody will get better as they go along. So let's move on to the next picture. This is interesting. I like the crop, of course. It's a good crop. The one thing that I noticed in mine is that, you know, when you have space over here and no space over here, that I try to even it up on the other side so that it pops in there and doesn't, you know, feel awkward, but it doesn't feel that bad. I thought it was a cool color edit. I thought the muted color was great. I thought pulling out a lot of the yellow worked really well, and I just think they didn't throw too much fill light in there or try to go too far with the eyes and bringing them back, because I saw that a lot. A lot of the people, and I was guilty of this too before during my edit, was trying to go too far with the eyes and bringing them back out into something that really wasn't realistic. So I saw that in my edit and pulled back and didn't go that direction. So this is good. I like the color. This is just interesting. This is a totally weird type of edit. I like the out of focus areas in the back. I like how that was created. I like the gray. It's just like a sludgy like color. It's interesting. I like the. Is this HDR? I don't know. This could be HDR, but I just like this edit. I like the feel of the face here. I like how this is looking, and it's just like, it's got that metallic look to it, and that's really cool. So JG, nice job on that edit. This is just a more traditional black and white. I wish the crop was thrown in there, but I thought that the crispiness of the tones was worth showing you. Now the crop still, I think this image definitely needs to be cropped, but I just wanted to show the tones here because I liked the tones. This is a cool crop, and it looks like they smoothed out the face quite a bit and worked on the eyes. This works for me because it seems like the eyes work better in this, even though it was brought out more so than something like this, because you know that it's not as realistic, the light coming in from his face, but in here the light could be coming in here and filling it in. So I think this is a really cool crop. It's really tight. This is how I would have shot one shot. I would have shot a little wider, and I would have shot it even wider. Keep that in mind when you're shooting, is to, you know, do different because I don't crop my photos afterwards. What I do in the camera when I'm shooting is I see my angle, I take the picture, and then I zoom in more, or I zoom in even more, or I take a step closer, and I'm just finding different compositions so that I have the full res files to pick from each time. I like this one a lot. I think it's a great edit, a great crop, really nice job done with the eyes. This was cool too, a nice horizontal crop. They took the vertical image, made it a horizontal crop, and have a nice process here. Here the eyes, I think, you know, it's being popped out a little too much, but I still like the way that this photo looks. I like this too. I like that a horizontal crop was done, but then everything else was blown out, and all that was left here was the person. Now, I would probably like to see a little bit more black levels thrown in here to really pump up those tones, but I like how this is fading away. It's like, hey, he's fading away. It's a nostalgic type look, or the guy is gone and things like that. So I like this one. That's why I'm pinpointing it out. I thought this was interesting. Now, I don't think the eyes are done well here. I just thought it was interesting that the post bokeh added after the fact. It's very interesting that you can do that, and I'm not a fan of doing that at all because it does look fake. You can just, with the separation of the hat to the background, and I'm sure over time it's going to get harder and harder to tell, but I really think that this was done interestingly, and I wanted to pinpoint it. I don't think it is the greatest edit in the world in terms of the tones because it's pretty flat, but I just wanted to pinpoint the background and things like that. Really cool crop too. I like the angle of the face here. I like the eyes. I mean, even though it kind of looks like liquid metal in here, but this is a rough and tough dude, and I really like that the crop was done here. There's no hole over on the left or the right. So you got this, you got that. I mean, it's square, or it's not square, but it's not a 2x3. Format, which is 35 millimeter, but I like this. I think it's a great edit. It's crispy, the colors are nice, the tones look good, and it really draws you in right to the image. This is cool too. This is, a very old world 1920s. Hey, we've got the coffee stain on your image type of thing. I think it was a cool process. I am personally not a huge fan of what are they, presets and things that throw images through this, but I'm totally open to seeing them in these raw edits. I don't mind seeing them. I may not do them to my own thing, but I love to see what your composites are. When people take it into Photoshop and do some really interesting things with them, I like it, and that's why I pinpointed this one. I thought this was a cool color edit. I think it may be a little strong on the clarity and the sharpness. I would love to see that pulled back a little bit, but I thought the colors were nice. I thought this really made for a nice image. Not sure if I like the top of the hat being cut off. There's still room to work on the right-hand side. We know that. But other than that, the color and the process, I like just maybe a little too sharp and too much clarity. This was interesting too. I mean, this kind of works. Wait, let me see something. Yeah, he is having that smirk on his face. I didn't know if somebody used the Photoshop and used that tool that just liquefies everything, but I think this was cool. You could kind of see like he's smiling a little bit, and he's looking out at you with his left eye. Pretty good. I like the crop more so than I like the color, the tones of the edit, but, I like the crop, so that's why that is here. Thought this was a cool color edit too. Took out all the greens, literally pulled them out. It gives it that old world feel. It's kind of like it could be like a slide image. I think it still has a little too much yellow in it, but that's, again, I haven't color calibrated my screens yet, which I'm going to do with the 3 color calibrators that came in the mail that I have to test. But I think this is cool. I like the way that the color was done and the way that the green was pulled out. It really brings some impact into the image. I thought this was also interesting. Pulled out, of course, from the background, done digitally in post, but I like that they softened up the face. In some of the other images where it's too harsh, I like this because it's a little softer. The eyes look soft. He doesn't look as rough and tough. This looks like a portrait that somebody was, doing on a photo shoot. I like this one as well. That isn't what I picked. That didn't convert very well, so don't know why it's there. We'll just skip right past that. Like this is a nice crop. Really cool crop. Really great edit. I think this didn't go too far on the not the contrast. The contrast is great. It didn't go too far on the sharpening and clarity. This is really good. I like this one a lot. One of my favorites from this. I like the green. I like the purple. I like the face tones. I like the hat. This is a really crisp, clean photo. This is one of my favorite that I've seen so far. And I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, this is the last one. I saw this and I liked it a lot. I like the letter. I didn't even actually read what it says. I don't know what it says. Is that even in English? Oh, yes, but let us something. I can barely read that from here, but I like this. I really thought this is a cool process. This gives it that old world look. And like I said a little earlier, I like to see what you guys do in Photoshop. I like to see the original edit and then something a little bit off the wall that's totally different, that may be out of the norm. I liked it. So this is a really cool one. I like the letter. I like the thought process that goes behind it. And like I say all the time, there is no right or wrong way to do it. If you find that Photoshop works for you, then go for it. That's for you. It comes down to personal preference and what you like. If you like it, that is all that matters. Now, there are those rules, and sometimes breaking the rules works. I'd say like 90% of the times you're going to find yourself following the rules because the images are more appealing or appeasing to people, and when you totally break the rules and go off the wall, that sometimes it just feels awkward and creates tension. But if you're looking to create tension and that's your style, then by all means go for it. So yeah, there is no right or wrong way to do this stuff. Love these raw edits every week, seeing what you guys are doing. I think you guys, I got a lot of requests to do this. I know I was a few days late to put this one up, but I really, I wanted to take the time to go through these and give it the time of day that they deserve. So awesome job on this again. Look forward to see what you come up with for week 54, that cool landscape photo. And that is about it. Great job again, Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.